How you let them cheat and take them back? Must be your only nigga. I get loud, just like
Thousands on the floor, and then chaos exploded. Not just a club fight, but a street brawl sparking allegations of assault, pregnancy, and even miscarriage, all potentially tied back to one of hip-hop's biggest stars and the woman locked in a desperate battle for his attention. You're watching Unlcked, and trust me, this tangled mess is far crazier than the headlines. For years, the internet watched two names, Latto and 21 Savage, orbit each other like planets. Rumors swirled, speculation ran wild, but they were ironclad in their denial. Just friends, they insisted. Nothing to see here. They perfected the art of gaslighting an entire online community, acting like we were the ones reaching, digging too deep. Publicly, they were colleagues, maybe casual acquaintances. Privately? The whispers painted a different picture, a picture they desperately tried to keep hidden. Back in 2020, the first major crack appeared. Side-by-side vacation photos surfaced. Same place, same time. It wasn't rocket science. The internet detectives put the pieces together instantly. But instead of coming clean, Latto doubled down on the denial. Reading too much, she'd say. We performed together. She even gave interviews shutting down questions about a relationship, claiming she needed her privacy, that too much of her life was already unwillingly exposed. An admirable stance, perhaps, if it weren't for the man himself tripping up.
Like me, so I just would think that he talking to my woman like I talk to her.
But fuck that
get them
thing.
nuts. Oh,
Yeah.
oh God.
No, that thing. Most of these niggas gone. Yeah, I just hit give. That's what
That's how they gonna say it.
I just was a savage on savage.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I was savage.
I was a savage on her. What? Oh my God. Get on the whole hood. No, don't nobody know her name. Yeah, you know, Ryan Pop Savage.
Who you talking about?
No.
All right.
Right.
Shit be
So
crazy.
it do be a little different.
It's way different, man.
It's a whole different.
Do you
But we
think,
ain't with emotions. We just do that just to do it. We can hit her, never talk to her.
right? And we
Girl
know,
doing that
especially if you got a woman that's she not just giving no up. That mean this had to put in a lot of phone conversations.
Oh God.
She's telling this nigga all your business because she's trying to justify to this nigga why she's about to fuck his. Do you
But we
think?
ain't with emotions. We just do that just to do it. We can hit her, never talk to her.
Right. And we
Girl
know
doing that.
The subtle act shattered when 21 Savage had a classic post and delete moment, a comment under one of Latto's photos. Simple words, no makeup, dang you fine. But the kicker? It's only one way it come about you, twin. Twin. A term insiders knew was reserved for someone more than just a friend. That one comment ripped the curtain back. The game was over. While they might have tried to salvage the facade for a little longer, everyone who mattered, from fans with a keen eye to fellow artists in the industry, knew the score. It wasn't just anonymous accounts speculating. Even peers were dropping not-so-subtle hints. Dream Doll threw a direct jab on her 2021 track. Tryouts, rapping, and yeah, mulatto, yeah, that's my little honey bun. Ask how many times she came. She said 21, 21. That line landed like a bomb, confirming the rumors from within the circle. The streets were talking, and the music industry was listening. Even hardened players like Kodak Black acknowledged the situation. Kodak had openly expressed interest in Latto himself, even admitting he tried to make a move. But the second he found out she was tied up with 21 Savage, he backed off. Kodak Black, a man not exactly known for shrinking from a challenge, the fact that he stepped aside spoke volumes. It wasn't just a fling, they were locked in, or so everyone thought. Because the locked-in situation was about to detonate, transforming from a quiet affair into a public spectacle. While Lato initially maintained a level of public silence about the crumbling situation, 21 Savage wasted no time making his position crystal clear. And it was brutal. In an interview, he went cold. He stated he wasn't about the antics, didn't have a celebrity girlfriend, wasn't trying to be everywhere. He wasn't claiming anyone in the public eye. That hit hard. For Lato, and for everyone watching. It wasn't just a denial of her, it was a confirmation of the uncomfortable truth many suspected. She wasn't the main event. She was dealing with a married man, and in his public narrative, she didn't exist. But Lato wasn't about to let that stand. The backlash started swirling. Was she just a side piece? She clapped back hard, pushing back against the mistress narrative. I live with my man. I don't even come second. She scoffed at the online tea pages, urging people to go touch grass, claiming their inability to figure out her private life was driving them crazy. She insisted she was no secret, no backup plan, absolutely not second place. A bold declaration, especially considering 21 Savage had just publicly erased her existence from his life story. Despite his public dismissal, Latto refused to let go. Instead of distancing herself from a man who wouldn't claim her, she doubled down, and she did it in ink, permanently. Right behind her ear, she got his real name tatted, not an initial, not a symbol. His full government name, Shay. Yes, Shay. When the internet uncovered this, people were absolutely stunned. Who knew that was his name? And why would she permanently brand herself with the name of a man who was still legally married and publicly denying their connection? The sheer audacity, the level of being down bad, had the online world reeling.
I met 21, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and 21, homeboy, we be out of like that, bro. He's not trying to text you, girls. You know what I mean? Like, she know that, bro. What she say, no name. You know what I mean? But y'all tripping, bro. I was on shit, real player shit, like, bro. I don't even want no money for the song. Do a verse for my artists, BBS's. And BBS is from Georgia, like, I said, stop calling my name. Like, you know? And then they ain't no one no shit. Then, bro, that the bitch be all in that, bro. Savage, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I met 21, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me and 21, homeboy, we be all in this shit. He's not trying to text you, girl. Stop.
Hollywood Unlocked wasted zero time putting the tattoo on full blast, triggering an absolute frenzy. The clowning was merciless. Memes flooded timelines, questioning her choices, asking if she was ignoring every red flag just to make a point or prove something to a man who clearly wasn't prioritizing her. The backlash was swift and brutal, and Lato reportedly did not take it well. Whispers emerged that she was so desperate to scrub the image from the internet, she allegedly sent her team to confront Hollywood Unlocked head Jason Lee, even offering to pay him to take it down. Damage control mode, maximum overdrive. But online, once it's out, it's out. The tattoo became a symbol of perceived desperation, a permanent mark of a relationship the other party wouldn't even acknowledge. But if you thought Lato was the only one making questionable ink choices, prepare for another curveball. Because turns out, 21 Savage also got a tattoo, right behind his ear. Her name, in the same spot. At first glance, this threw everyone. Matching tattoos? Maybe they were more serious than his public denials suggested. But then the reality hit again. This is a married man with 2 children. The tattoos weren't proof of a healthy relationship. They were proof of a messy entanglement nobody could deny anymore, regardless of public statements. With the secret relationship now an open secret cemented by tattoos, the focus and the biggest side-eye shifted dramatically. It wasn't just for Latto or 21, it was for Kiana, 21's wife. The internet consensus was clear. Sis, how are you letting this happen? How much public humiliation will you take? The pressure was on her to react, to set boundaries, to make it clear she wasn't about to be played. And for a brief dramatic moment, it seemed she had finally reached her limit. Rumors exploded that Kiana was done, ready to walk away from the constant public disrespect. The streets buzzed with talk that she had begged 21 to cut Latto off, and he refused. As if that wasn't enough, the sheer audacity reached a fever pitch when Latto allegedly threw shade at Kiana for staying with 21 through all the drama. The level of disrespect felt astronomical. This, it seemed, was the final straw. But Kiana didn't go on a rant. No public meltdown, no social media dragging. In classic Kiana fashion, she made one subtle move that screamed louder than any tweet storm. Her Instagram bio. It originally read Kiana Joseph, mother of 2. Overnight, it changed. It simply said, mother of 3. For those watching closely, this wasn't a small tweak. It was a silent mic drop. It was her way of removing his name, severing the public tie as his wife, signaling she was defining herself outside of that relationship drama. It looked like she was finally exiting the stage, but just when everyone was convinced Kiana had made her graceful exit, another plot twist. They were still together. Just like that, the cycle snapped shut. The persistent rumors that 21 would leave Kiana the second his green card was secured, debunked. Whether it's genuine connection, complicated loyalty, or something else entirely, Kiana isn't going anywhere. And neither, it seemed, was 21 Savage. If you thought that development would lead to a quiet period, think again. Latto wasn't about to fade into the background. She started dropping heavy, undeniable hints that she and 21 were still linked. It felt like subtle trolling, a way to project to the world that she still held a claim. The moment that truly broke the internet? A picture of her Sims game. Nothing unusual, right? Except the female character looked exactly like her. And then she posted a screenshot of the Sims character giving birth. The baby daddy in the game? A dead ringer for 21 Savage, tattoos and all. At this point, the privacy claims felt laughable. She was broadcasting her fantasy life, clearly salty that the real man chose his wife over her. But hold on, because the mess wasn't limited to the original players. Kiana wasn't Latto's only competition. Whispers grew louder that 21 Savage was involved with multiple women, and word on the street was he allegedly stepped out on Latto with none other than Saweetie. Yes, Saweetie. At this point, Saweetie might as well change her name to Mrs. Stir the Pot, because Latto reportedly did not handle this development well. Reports claim 21 took Saweetie on a lavish trip to Dubai, leaving Latto feeling completely played, humiliated, and spiraling. The alleged fallout from this supposed betrayal? Absolute chaos. Now, whether Saweetie was a brief entanglement or something more serious remains unclear, but the fallout was undeniable. Latto was reportedly furious, and the streets are still buzzing about a potential beef between Latto and Saweetie. Why? Because Saweetie allegedly threw some subtle but potent shade during an interview. Asked a question, she referred to herself as Big Mama. For years, Big Mama has been Latto's self-proclaimed nickname. This felt like a direct shot, not only taking the man, but also jacking the nickname.
Start getting calls from your team saying that you allegedly wanted to pay me to take it off of Hollywood Unlocked. And I wasn't going to remove it, but I asked my team to check to see if anybody else had posted. Although I think we posted it first, everybody started posting it, and then it became a thing where I think then she got, from what I understand, was unhappy with us not taking it down.
Fans went wild, pointing out the perceived shade. One comment perfectly summed it up. Messi started just like that, with all the 21 cheating on Latto with her speculations. But Saweetie wasn't about to get pulled into the drama cycle without a fight. She clapped back hard, denying any involvement with 21 Savage whatsoever. Her response? Literally never met him. Go get some money and get off the internet, brookie. Ouch! Not only denying the man, but also seemingly stealing Latto's broke insult lingo in the process. But back to Latto, because despite claiming she values privacy and denying the internet knows anything, she kept feeding the beast. Her latest album is laced with lyrics that fans immediately interpreted as being about 21. Lines like, I'm a diamond ninja, 12, the way they out here trying to cuff, and I'll settle down. And then, the more direct, lay a hoe down and lay up with a savage. It wasn't subtle. Yet she continued to play coy in interviews, telling Cosmopolitan she likes being private, that her privacy is more important than seeing him in the crowd, claiming she can't have people putting two and two together. She even called it the longest relationship she'd ever been in, hinting at the depth while still trying to control the narrative. Fans weren't buying the privacy angle. They believed the real reason she refused to confirm anything publicly was because she knew 21 never would. Facing that humiliation publicly was too much, so she tried to maintain an illusion of control. But the alleged obsession didn't stop there. Rumors started swirling that Latto went to extreme, violent lengths over 21. The claim? She allegedly had a whole woman jumped because that woman was supposedly messing around with 21 Savage. Yep, you heard that right. This is where the narrative hooks back to the explosive incident mentioned at the start. What began as relationship drama suddenly spilled into something physical, dangerous, and potentially criminal. When news of this street altercation first hit, 21 Savage's name wasn't even in the picture. Reports simply stated Latto was involved in a physical fight outside Magic City. The initial story? She allegedly threw thousands at dancers during her music video shoot, then snatched the money back before leaving. The internet was outraged, calling her cheap, broke, disrespectful, a PR nightmare. But then, one of the dancers involved, Gorgeous Doll, came forward with a dramatically different version of events. She claimed Latto wasn't being cheap, she was reacting. According to Gorgeous Doll, Latto's wallet had been stolen earlier that night. She had been searching for it, asking for its return. When nobody came forward, she got fed up and took her money back from the dancers as a form of street justice. While understandable from Latto's perspective, the dancers saw it as blatant disrespect. And that's when things reportedly went completely sideways. Gorgeous Doll claimed that after the money was snatched back, the situation escalated outside the club. She alleged that Latto made sure she was handled, sending her people to physically attack her. A street beating. A brutal turn in an already messy night, but the situation wasn't done getting darker. Gorgeous Doll dropped another bombshell. She claimed she was pregnant at the time of the alleged attack. That sent shockwaves. What was already bad became exponentially worse. The backlash intensified, fueled by outrage. And then came the most shocking claim of all. Gorgeous Doll alleged that because of the attack, she suffered a miscarriage. This turned the messy drama into a full-blown public crisis, with potentially devastating human consequences. For months, Gorgeous Doll's account was just that, an account. Accusations without definitive proof directly linking Latto. It looked like Gorgeous Doll might have to accept the loss, both personal and potentially legal. But then, in a twist nobody saw coming, Latto herself delivered the potential smoking gun. The receipt Gorgeous Doll needed. The irony? It came during a completely unrelated online argument. A TikToker who had beef with Latto's lash tech went on a rant, dragging the lash tech. But in the middle of her venting, she made a critical mistake. She name-dropped Latto. That instantly drew Latto's attention. Latto responded, clapping back at the TikToker, trying to dismiss the rant. But in her attempt to shut down the online noise, she let it slip. She wrote something to the effect of, "Who you describing? Because it's not me. You lost your marbles, you speaking on my man on TikTok, got whooped outside the club, and you read that too?" And boom. There it was. The TikToker called her out immediately. "I'm losing my marbles? But you're out here threatening people on TikTok over a lash tech?" But Gorgeous Doll, who had been watching and waiting, saw that comment and instantly pounced. For her, this was the confession. The direct admission she'd been waiting for. Latto, in trying to clap back at someone else, had seemingly confirmed not only that she was involved in the altercation, but the reason for it was the TikToker speaking on her man. It inadvertently corroborated Gorgeous Doll's claims about the fight being connected to 21 Savage. Gorgeous Doll wasted zero time. She called it a direct admission of guilt. She wasn't backing down. She vowed to sue Latto, convinced that this online slip-up finally gave her the concrete proof needed to pursue legal action, potentially linking Latto directly to the alleged assault and its tragic consequences. Latto clearly didn't anticipate the fallout from her quick-trigger online response. The second the backlash hit and the legal implications became clear, she reportedly panicked. Damage Control Part 2. She scrambled to delete the comment, trying to erase the evidence of her apparent admission. But it was too late. Screenshots are forever. The internet had already captured the moment. Now she's facing far more serious consequences than just bad press. Gorgeous Doll isn't just looking for an apology. She's reportedly coming for her pockets. And Latto's own words might have just handed her the case. And as if that legal nightmare wasn't enough, the relationship drama at the core of it all seems to have finally worn down the other party. According to insiders, 21 Savage is allegedly over it. Tired. Tired of the constant drama Latto seems to bring. Tired of the scandals, the public outbursts, the chaos bleeding into his life, and crucially, into his actual marriage with Kiana. This whole situation is reportedly creating more problems for him than it's worth. The status of his marriage with Kiana remains a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Are they in some form of arrangement? Is she turning a blind eye? Nobody knows the full truth behind those doors. But whatever is happening privately, the public drama is undeniable, and 21 Savage is allegedly signaling he's done with Latto. But you know Latto isn't taking that news quietly. Sources claim she's spiraling hard and she's making threats. Threats to expose everything, to put 21 Savage on blast, leak details of their relationship, humiliate him publicly. She's reportedly claiming she has the receipts to back it up. What's her endgame? Is she truly trying to win him back with threats, or is this simply the scorched earth response of someone scorned, seeking pure, unadulterated revenge? Whatever the motivation, one thing is crystal clear. She is not going down without a fight, and 21 Savage might be about to get a harsh dose of the chaos he reportedly wants to escape. This entire situation, from secret romance to alleged street violence and legal battles, remains a hot, unfolding mess. Now, what do you think about this whole mess? Is Latto bluffing with these threats to expose 21, or is he genuinely facing a storm of leaked secrets? And what about his wife, Kiana? Is she ignoring all this publicly? Or is there something bigger, a complex arrangement, happening behind the scenes that we just don't know about? Drop your opinion in the comments below.